Now wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I think it goes something like this. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Cause every time I turn around, there's something trying to keep me down. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Whoa, can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. When I look up, don't you know, burdens knocking at my door. So won't you come and take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Oh, come and take these burdens off of me. Off of me. Somebody come and take these burdens off of me. Off of me. Soon as I get up off the ground, my burdens knock me right back down. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Well, off of me, off of me. Oh, off of me, off of me. Well, off of me, off of me. Get them off of me, off of me. Come and break the chain. Come and break the chain. Get it off of me. Get it off of me. I need somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody to get this burden. To get this burden. Can somebody take these burdens off of me?
Hey guys, I am back. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna start giving you guys some positive relationship and positive things about Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. So hopefully this will be spread it to throughout the social media world, so we can get this this conviction overturned, because these people spew out these negative information about Robert. Now we're gonna give some positive relationship about Robert. Now, this is an individual. Her name is Christine Klein. She dated Mr. Kelly back in the 90s. She was a model. She met him when she was around age 21. Not no underage, none of that stuff. And she's going to give you her account of what happened. She wrote a book about her relationship, and it's called Addicted Love, Life with R. Kelly, based on a true story. Her name is Christine Klein. And this book is very, very detailed and very it's a rated R book, but it's not as raunchy as the other book that we read, that Daddy's Little Freak thing. No, it's not as raunchy as that. But I just want to go ahead and start playing it, and then later on, I'm going to give you some of the things that Mr. Kelly has done, awards he has won, people he has helped, and things like that. So we're going to show the good side of Mr. Kelly. All right. So let's see. Hold on a second. Let me go ahead and do this read out loud. You guys ready? All right, here we go. Let's see, who is this? Hello to everyone in the chat. Welcome. Yep. All right, here we go.
Addicted Love, Life with R. Kelly, based on a true story. Cover design credit Uvizian Express, www.uvizian Express. First Kindle Original Edition 2010, Christine Klein. Copyright signed 2010 Christine Klein. Copyright, legal notice and disclaimer.
Okay.
This, without limiting the rights under copyright reserved above, no part of this public. Sherry is the sexy, vivacious model who falls for the handsome R&B crooner whom she later finds out that he is involved in a scandalous affair. Caught in the middle of this tormented triangle, what is she to do? Rebounding from the torrid love relationship. Addicted Love is the page-turning memoir of Christine Klin, one-time companion to one of the hottest, controversial, and debatable A-list producers in the music industry. Christine Klin now comes forth with her scintillating, riveting, salacious story with R. Kelly, one woman's secret journey into the R&B world of glitz and glamour with a legendary pop star. Book review. The memoir of Addicted Love was an interesting read for me. It gave me an overview of the man and the entertainer R. Kelly. In addition, the review was very informative when it came down to the breakdown of his zodiac sign Capricorn. Young women and fans of R. Kelly will find the memoirs to be very interesting as they read each page. The glamour and the glitz of it all in R&B world If you always wanted to know I suggest you read it. The memoirs Addicted Love is one of the best I have read so far. Good luck to you in your future endeavors and the future of your memoirs. Mr. Chase / WJLB radio station Detroit, Michigan. Addicted Love, Life with R. Kelly. Based on a true story. Tempting indiscretions. Hurting as if someone stuck the knife in way too deep. Bound over on the hotel bathroom floor bleeding from my heart. The act. Have I made a mistake? Who am I? Which girl am I to be? Where is the little girl from the backwoods of Tennessee? To know thyself is the epitome of self. I had once enjoyed the innocent life, now, suddenly hit with the glamour, glitz, and perils of love. It was a pleasure to burn. I had to wonder, is that what tempting indiscretions do? At the ripe young age of 6, I always knew that I wanted to become a model. However, school took precedence. A good education, Grandma always said, is the best way to get what you want in life. In school, I had all the makings of a geek. You see, Grandma also always said I had an old soul. My first choice was to major in engineering, which was boring with a capital B. My second choice was fashion with a capital F. Fashion was my sweet rebellious revenge against being a geek. It was a nasty secret I harbored inside, belonging to an alter ego, just waiting to make an appearance. One sweet day, without realizing it, my destiny took off, smoldering alluring sensuality, beauty, and sex appeal much like a geisha. One look intrigued many. Forever the young wallflower grew into the beautiful budding butterfly. Sporting the huge bubblegum smile made me look younger than that of my peers. Always the quiet girl, hiding behind her grandmother for safety whenever a stranger looked to be suspect, lingering on in youth, holding on to the good book sayings. The one with the childlike spirit will always go to heaven. Naively shy but an ice-cold princess. Discreet, quiet, standoffish to most people, this facade, a barricade of armor, worked just fine for me. It was definitely the best way to fend off the unwanted. Always cautious of every city slicker man who tried to get with me, until the inevitable happened, a surprise meeting of a handsome, young man that intrigued me. I grew up in the country, sheltered, raised in a southern tradition where women were taught not to approach men romantically. It sounds so 1940s. The man is always supposed to be the breadwinner. When my father moved to Michigan for work, so did my mother, with 2 children in tow. Now the angel of 25 years, which is my grandmother, guides me through the tough times that are about to arise. It was to be the career in modeling, learning to prove myself worthy in the game of fashion. Quickly starting to climb toward the ladder of success, first as a kid, doing fashion shows for local churches by request, next school fashion shows, then on to beauty pageants, which was to be a stepping stone for me as a way to determine if I had what it took to win. I won Miss Sunburst USA Port Huron, Michigan. Finally, progression from a girl to young lady status. Hell, I wanted to scream. I made it. Next, I then competed with friends, such as Pilar Fort, who won Miss Black America in 1993. Miss Hot to Trot, some said. Whatever, they're just player hating, said Kimberly, my best friend, whom I call simply Kim. You just keep on doing what you're doing, by keeping yo skinny ass in that gym 6 times a week. You skinny bitches get on my last nerves, always trying to twist your little bony ass whenever you see a man, said Kim. Honey, a man wants something bootylicious, big, curvy, with a nice set of hooters. That's what real men look at, she added. Kim, whatever, I am not skinny. My size 5 ass is plump enough for a handful, and juicy enough for a mouthful. Kim, I think we need a vacation in Florida somewhere. Let's get the hell out of here tomorrow. Meeting Kristen Hudson and Montel Jordan on an elevator while on vacation turned out to be the beginning of an amazing ride. Kristen, who was Montel's manager at the time, invited me to come to California on the spot. After soaking up the sun and getting the most amazing golden tan, it was back to Detroit. Overjoyed and elated, I immediately got back to the fucking grind of working out, getting in tip minus top shape to film in the Something for Da Honey's video shoot in Thousand Island, California. Girl, who would think that your ass grew up in the country and live in the hood? Kim said. Yeah, what's the odds of that? What a break, I admitted. Kim, Big Dog Productions is producing the shoot. Snoop Dogg and his crew will be on the set. I will call you to fill you in on the details. Oh shit, Kim, Russell Simmons, Redman, NFL superstar Johnny Morton, actress Lark Voorhees, the first black supermodel, Beverly Johnson's daughter, are all here, but that's not the biggest bonus. It's being directed by R&B's hottest world-renowned video director Hype Williams. It cannot get any hotter than that, I told Kim. Sorry, there are no juicy details. Besides mesmerizing Montel, after coming out of my makeup trailer, he just stood there staring. Besides, I was already in a relationship at the time with my football player of a boyfriend, hell, who wants someone kicking them off the set of a hot video for fraternizing with the stars, so I just kept the hell walking. Girls who spread themselves around at video shoots usually get a name for themselves, in fact, very quickly. One thing young girls must remember is if you want to have a successful career in modeling, being a video hoe will not get you there. A little advice: do not sleep with the stars in the video. They are only there for one thing, and that is the booty. The almighty beauty. Believe me, you will regret it the next morning. Always keep it business. Keep your legs closed. Now it is time for the juice on the juicy. Feeling on top of my game, I entered into the professional world of modeling, which opened up more doors of opportunity than anyone could ever bargain for. The superstars that you met in person, invitations to parties, sex, lust, music, alcohol and drugs, activities that only some women dream about seeing. This was a whole new world. Nothing is more fun than having a career that you love, saving yourself for the one love of your life in hopes that it is forever. A handsome young man that mystified my soul. Career started singing on the streets of Chicago, commanding a wide range of audiences. He then formed a group called MGM. Next, he signed with Blackground Enterprises with Barry Hankerton, who was the uncle of teenage superstar Aaliyah. She started a working relationship as his protege. Next, there was the signing with Jive Records, his biggest career break. While with Jive Records, he formed the group Public Announcement. From there, he made the decision to go solo. Rob, to me, is an ordinary man with extraordinary talents, sexy, hot, and strappingly tall, with a pure force of seductive and provocative energy. Musically, he has deep roots, profound lyrics, sex appeal, incredible work ethics, a sexual prowess with words. Some may say that he is a sex on the brain Casanova, or has certain sexual preference of women, especially young women, but this is not entirely true. Rob also dates women that are near his own age. I should know I was one of them. Rob quoted as saying, "I'm not perfect. I see women every day and they are fine. I am like, wow, I am human. I am a man. I grew up that way." The same with women. They see men, they like them, and they go after them, or they will look. Just as women may do me, I do them the same way, and I embrace the love that they have for me. I embrace it. Chicago Sun-Times. Up close and personal. In time passing, came a man noticeably not about glitz or glamour, but a man who is kind, hospitable, and soft-spoken at times. A man who loved to love. How else would you explain all the sexually explicit love songs? He is extremely private and discreet. A respectful man at times, who would always open doors for a woman, pull out their chair, more of a women first kind of attitude, who never used foul language in their presence. When he is suited up in style, there is flair of sizzling pizzazz that comes with his presence. When he steps into a room filled with women, all eyes are on him. It does not matter if he is doing a concert or playing basketball. Large diamond earrings, platinum chains, large diamond bracelets around his wrist. He is undoubtedly an overindulging sight to see. One has to wonder, could he be the ultimate perfect lover, or just a knockoff? This man could make any woman standing next to him feel like $1 million. Just looking at him leaves the intriguing, mysterious, sexy persona that keeps you lingering as if you were in his sex heaven. The songs he sang made me curious to live through what was really going on. He wrote a lot about his experiences in love and life, words flowing across the paper, like a melody of water, just flowing of milk and honey, a sticky sweetness of words. Rob, quoted as saying about his music, "I think that people look at me sort of like a rapper, but I just happen to sing. I am just telling true stories and talking about real things and what goes on, like in When a Woman's Fed Up. I take time with those and make sure that everything is right on point. So when people hear my songs, they do not just hear the song and groove to it, they can actually picture it, almost like a movie on a tape." Moreover, that is the way I like to write, to let people feel and see what is really happening in my life or in the life of somebody I know. I like people to listen to my stuff and say, man, that just happened to me the other day. Can you imagine what it would be like to be in his presence? It was in 1994 when we met during the time of the R. Kelly and Aaliyah scandal. The night was grand and elegant. The lighting was very bright at the Fox Theater that night, remembering the tall white pillars, plush red carpet, and fabulous cathedral ceilings with an ambience of Rome. Winding staircases, cameras flashing everywhere, walking the red carpet. Everyone was dressed for the concert of the night. Heartbroken over all the infidelities and women with my on again off again ex who played in the NFL as a strong safety, I decided to go out, get some air, and look at some of the men for heaven's sake. Suddenly a man approached me that night and tried to associate me to a striking resemblance to Toni Braxton, immediately contemplating, here it comes, the infamous Toni Braxton line. You know how some men are always looking to try to score, talking from the side of his mouth. Baby, you look like Toni Braxton, you are beautiful. Thank you, I reply. No, I'm not Toni. Continuing to walk, not knowing that Robert was watching my every move from the top of the staircase. A man named Wayne suddenly approaches me. He worked for Jive Records as an A&R executive and talent scout. He introduces himself. Wayne asked, would you like to meet R. Kelly? He would very much like to meet you. Shocked and taken by surprise, Wayne went on to say, really, he's right up there. Wayne pointed to the top of the staircase. Rob nodded as I smiled. OMG, is this really freaking happening to me? Could this be a new beginning of something very hot and unforgettable, like fire and water in perfect portions, just like the great tide that was always in perfect harmony? Kim needed to be here. Wayne escorted me to the top of the staircase. Now we are standing face to face. I was mystified by this man's tall stature. I'm Rob, what's your name? He asked. I introduced myself as Sherry. Are you here by yourself? Of course. Surrounded by his entourage, Rob took me by the hand and started to move through the aisles of people so we could have some privacy. We were trying to make our way backstage, passing through security. The concert had not yet started, so we took some time to get to know each other, holding hands as we walked. First question he asked was, can you sing? Feeling embarrassed, I said no. Rob towered over me, standing 6 minutes 2 seconds next to my 5 minutes 2 seconds frame. There was an immediate connection upon our meeting. Looking into each other's eyes, as to let everyone know she is with me, was a tender sentiment from him. Now I noticed the butterflies fluttering around inside my stomach. Surprisingly, the warmth of his hands and presence was soothing to my soul, as we both continued to the stage together, standing watching him perform up close and personal. At that very moment I am in total awe, looking out in the crowd at a totally packed house. He kept his eye on me as he started to sing, Honey Love, wooing me, serenading me into his web, as if he was making love to me on the stage, followed by Your Body's Calling. Just hearing him say, Distant lover, I will be right here. The crowd went crazy and Rob's eyes glanced toward me once again. Wayne glided his way up to me and grabbed my hand. The concert was almost over, and we made our way through the crowd and into Rob's dressing room. Wayne was a tall, light-skinned man who is also one of Rob's close friends. Entering his room, a group of individuals just stared at me. In the twinkling of an eye, Rob turned to see what everyone was looking at, looking with amusement as though it turned him on. Sitting on a couch with his shades on, tender glances of acknowledgement exchanged between us. Nervously standing silently and observing this unfamiliar room of people. Sitting on the couch, I noticed a young, beautiful girl with her shades on playing with a cuddly little puppy. Her name was Aaliyah. Bruce came over and introduced himself as Rob's older brother, and there was Carrie, Rob's younger brother. We began to talk, then everyone started to make his or her way to the tour bus because it was time to leave. Come on, Carrie said, stepping on the bus. Once again, eyes were on me for a minute, more or less feeling at total ease. Rob had me with his closest of kin. How romantic and caring. Could this be for real? I kept saying to myself, he is so thoughtful. This type of display made me wonder even more about his character. Everything looks too good right now. Wanting to slap myself and say, wake the hell up, as I sat with Carrie on the tour bus behind Rob, waiting as they talked. Carrie was acting as the liaison. Tell her to call me. Carrie turned to me, gave me Rob's phone number, and said, he would like for you to call and meet him at his hotel tonight. What? Oh my god, it is 12:30 a.m. in the morning. My mind is rambling. On one hand, do I go, or do I take my little ass home? This is the $1,000,000 question. I immediately called Kim. Girl, you are not going to believe who tour bus I just came off of, and he wants to meet me at his hotel. What in the hell am I going to do? I said. Sherry, calm down. Now tell me, whose tour bus did you just get off? R. Kelly. I shared. What? Bitch, you asking me what to do? Girl, if you do not take your little size 5 narrow ass to that hotel, we're going to have it out. You have my number on speed dial if anything gets out of hand. Honey, let me know if he has a small dick, skinny dick, fat dick, or is he hung like a horse. Kim, I know yo nosy ass want to find out. I said, that's right, and you know I do, because inquiring minds want to know. Kim replied, already intrigued by his conversation and kindness. His boldness made me think this is the kind of man that can hold his own, speaks his mind, and doesn't give a damn what other people think, yet he is so strong, sensual, and thoughtful with his deep brown inexplicable eyes that took my breath away. What should I do? Oh yes, I am curious, and you know that I am. You would be too. So bitches, do not front. The Riverfront Hotel. The Riverfront Hotel in Detroit, which changed its name to the Omni Detroit Hotel at River Place, a charming secluded oasis, is where it all began. Arriving in 4-inch heels, form-fitting black short dress, long legs, and long brown hair with big brown eyes, with a smile that would melt any man's heart, in a bundle of nerves. Can you just envision for a moment what was going through my mind standing in the hotel lobby, dialing? His phone rings. He answered. Hello, Rob. I'm downstairs. What room number am I coming to? A door opens. You made it, he said with a glimmer in his eye and a smile on his face. Yes, I did. Carrie and Bruce spoke to say their hellos. Rob turns and makes the comment, doesn't she look just like Montina? Who is Montina? I then asked. She is a girl that we know. There was the little puppy again, this time on his bed. The room was a warm, beautiful, crisp, bright breath, taking tri-level suite sitting on the waterfront. A picture-perfect romantic setting for the sweet storm to come. Carrie and Bruce left the room, and took the cuddly puppy with them. The sexual tension starts to become surmountable for me, succumbing into the voodoo eyes of mystery. Alone in his bedroom together with this big-ass spacious view from the bed, Rob is being gracious and sweet by asking, would you like something to drink, soda, or water? Are you hungry? No, I'm not hungry, but I will have something to drink, I replied. We talked half the night as he embraced me in the comfort of his arms, making me warm, then hot, and the sound of his melodic voice was like foreplay, or should I say 12 play. Remembering us talking about one of Brian McKnight's songs, Crazy Love, and how he would have sounded better if it were him singing it, so he started singing to me. Chills went up my spine. Did I mention he was voted one of the sexiest R&B singers by the hip-hop magazines? Once on the bed, his hands started to glide up and down my thighs and legs. They felt soothingly good as he began by kissing my neck slowly up to my earlobes. I could hear him inhaling the scent of my sweet perfume, whispering in my ear how he liked the softness of my skin and how good my skin smelled as we rolled around in the bed, as though we were in a whirlwind. Oh, and by the way, the perfume I had on made married men in elevators turn to ask me what I was wearing. So you know it smelled damn good. When the lights went off and things started to get a little more interesting, the explicit desire was like an eruption boiling through my blood. Knowing I wanted it, something was bound to happen. Girl, snap, crackle, and pop if we continued this pleasure-seeking rambunctious rumbling of an act. You do not even have to say it. I know what you are thinking. Oh yeah, she is a hoe. Honey, if you were in my position at the time, lying next to a tall, strong, strapping man with it hanging rather nicely, yo ass would be whatever that night, if you know what I mean. I could hear Kim's voice in the back of my mind saying, in the words of the late great Marvin Gaye, let's get it on, sugar. The pace was passionately hot and steady. Putting on the brakes was a hard thing to do, and no one could stop us, not even the ringing of the phone. All of a sudden, crazy shit started entering my head like angelic versus devilish, good girl versus bad girl. Oh my, what would he think? It is the first night. Would I see him again? Would I be good enough? I mean, he is seasoned. If I have sex, where would this lead? Stop. Thinking, I said to myself, this is crazy. We were both breathing very heavily, starting to stroke his penis. I wanted to feel what I was working with, which was a nice size. Every man deserves to be blessed like him, at least in a sexual way, size that is. Pure passion was brewing in both of us as we stared into each other's eyes. I don't have any protection, he said. I don't either, ladies. I know this was an irresponsible act, but haven't you threw caution to the wind at least once in your life? Awkward silence fell upon us. We both hesitated, straddled across him. His hands gripped my soft, sumptuous ass as my body just quivered, and he knew he had me where I would not stop. Unzipping his jeans, our clothes came off, skin against skin. He was rock hard, sliding his dick back and forth. His brown sex skin was soft, I noticed while feeling the thickness of his head. The wetness filled my vagina. My body started to squirm as his fingers invaded the privacy of my sweet home. My body was hot as he slid in a little. I found myself gasping, and then just like Miss Betty Cracker ready to spray it, so did my legs. We both gave in to our sexual temptations, caution thrown to the wind and with complete delight, and he slid in a little deeper, each thrust deeper than the one before, clinching my walls as if he were the perfect fit, fucking me both soft and hard, in complete ecstasy, jumping on top just as a good girl should. Hot fudge sundae with caramel, cherries in the middle sprinkled with nuts, delicious and tantalizing. I was so far gone and into it. Acting like a pro in the sex department, an alter ego had emerged. Sex with him was both good and liberating. Sensing he didn't want to take it out, I tried to stay limber in every position, from doggy style to the scissors to the spoon bender, coming and coming repeatedly. He took me from behind and grabbed my waist rodeo style. It was a hard and smooth ride, gripping my pillow, feeling something pop. Pain is pleasure. Biting my lip, trying not to scream, I came again, flipped into another position, keeping him inside, tightening my pussy around his dickhead, spinning my ass around the pole. I started to have multi-orgasms. Looking back to see his toes curl, I smiled. That is when I knew it was good. Rob climaxed. We both collapsed in unified satisfaction. Fairy tale intense sex, more than just great. His sex left me longing for more, the kind that I needed, the kind that I wanted. The morning after, waking up yawning and stretching, feeling good, I opened my eyes. I could see the splendor of beauty all around and the pleasant scent of this man. It was a lovely Sunday morning. Rob had awakened before me without making a sound. He jumped in the shower as I lie there watching the morning sun glistening off the water. Rob, after he was finished showering, came into the bedroom, his body still damp, dripping of water and baby oil. He started kissing me on the neck, then the cheek, smiling while pressing his body up against mine, with nothing but a towel around him. I could feel his arousal, which meant he wanted more, so I obliged, giving him what he desired. Dropping to my knees, I sucked to his satisfaction, sucking his stick, starting at the head, then making my way down to the shaft, just to feel the twinge of his muscle was pure pleasure for me. He put his hands behind my head to push himself deeper down my throat, smoothing my hair from my face. He wanted it from behind, obliging as necessary. He bent me over the bed. Rob inserted his dick inside my wet pussy with long, slow, deep strokes, followed by the sweet sound of gushing wetness. The sweet sounds of gushing turned him on. It turned me on, too, because as he started going faster, I moaned and shook as he came with a thunder before collapsing on the bed. My cell phone was vibrating off the hook. Who else it could be but my girl Kim? She left me 15 messages. Damn. Feeling satisfied, I went to take a shower while humming a gospel tune. Now ain't that a bitch? I just sinned and it's Sunday. I can only pray for forgiveness. Rob asked, what are your plans for today? Is it possible to see you again? I have to go over to some friend's house for dinner, and then I'm playing basketball later on. I want you to come. Okay, I would love that, I replied. I'll call you to let you know where to come, he said. We walked to the elevators holding hands, taking a deep breath as if I had passed some kind of test, happy, thrilled, and a little bewildered, at the same time satisfied. He was polite, sweet, a perfect gentleman in a very southern hospitality way. Relieved our first night together was not a bust. After all, we are both Capricorns, known for their sexual appetite in the bedroom. Driving home, still throbbing from last night, but with a smile on my face, immediately calling Kim back from the 15 damn messages she left. Hey Kim, I got all the messages you left. Damn girl, I was worried when I did not hear from you early this morning. Kim, shut the hell up, yo ass is just nosy, and you know this. Girl, inquiring minds want to know, and you know I want to know. Don't leave a damn thing out. Was it good? Was it great? Did he pop that cherry? You know, in the name of Luke, pop that pussy baby, pop that pussy baby, in the name of the Luke dancers. Lol. Kim, what did I do to deserve a friend like you? I said, laughing. Girl, you know I got yo back whenever you need me. Now how was it? Okay, it was good, it was great, all of the above. Kim, I creamed so many times, flipping back and forth. I didn't know if I was going or coming. Damn, it was delicious as hell. Kim, I'm on my way home. I will call you when I get there. My phone rings. It was his friend Wayne, he said. Rob wants you to meet him at Callahan Hall. Okay, I'll be there. I made it to the game. Carrie met me at the door, and we sat behind Rob and his entourage. I felt special and pampered. Here was one of the finest men in the R&B industry, and I am with him. Rob looked back to see where I was sitting. At times throughout the game, he would glance, naive and falling, starry-eyed and daydreaming about the passionate night we just had. Sherry, Wayne kept calling my name. Sorry, I was just watching the game, I replied. Wayne kept me company, telling me about his friendship with Rob. The game was over. Rob signed a few autographs, came over to the bench. Let's go, he said as the ladies started swooning around him. Me, I just sat there in total admiration and confidence. After all, it was my expectation to see women screaming for him. Seeing Aaliyah again with the puppy, which I later found out the little pug's name was Tor. She was leaving through another door before the game was over. We all left talking and laughing, heading for the tour bus as we we said our goodbyes. I will call you later tonight, Uck. This meant he would be calling around 2 o'clock a.m., 3 o'clock a.m. A couple of days went by, and no call from Rob. I was beginning to think that the first night with him was my only night. Gripping his number in my hand, but did not call. No one wants to be thought of as Clinny. After all, he is a celebrity, and me just a cute, sexy girl. It is 2 o'clock a.m. In the morning, the phone rings. Chicago area code is on the caller ID. It's Rob. Hello, in a sleepy voice. Who is this? I asked. Rob, he replied. Rob, why are you up so late? I'm at the studio. This is when I work. I've been thinking about you, he said. I'm glad to hear your voice. I thought you had lost my number. No, I really enjoyed your company and our time together. Girl, you're a little sexy mama. So what do you do every day? I do print modeling and promotional modeling work. I really would like to see you again, he said. That could be arranged for next month. I had a great time with you too, and I would love to see you again as well. I have some modeling agencies that I work with in Chicago, and next month, I will be there doing some photo shoots, so I will call you a couple of days before I arrive. The video shoot. My flight arrived in Chicago the night before the Summer Bunnies video shoot, which was going to be along the beach of the Michigan River. This day was mad cool but hot. Rob had invited me to the video shooting of Summer Bunnies. The men were looking scrumptious in their white wife beaters, it seemed like, and looked like a woman's oasis of a paradise. The women were hanging out with their Daisy Dukes on, looking very hot for the Summer Bunnies contest. Aaliyah's Jeep was also at the video shoot. She sang on the Summer Bunnies track. Rob's brother Carrie, who was at the video shoot, showed me where to sit. Talking and laughing with Carrie, Rob looked on every now and then. He called Carrie over to him. The view of the water was beautiful, so I sat back and enjoyed the food and music from the local radio station WGC as Rob was taking care of his business. Carrie never returned, and I was isolated with no one to converse with. At this point, I am starting to wonder why no one would talk to me. Was it me, or was it my insecurities? He is a major sex symbol among many women. Although beautiful, young and naive, I was still a little country girl. A girl has to wonder why me, when he can have so many others. What did he see in me? Could it be that I was striking? Could it be that I was sexy? Often wondering, was the sex that good the first night? What would make him want to isolate me from everyone? Wow, I thought that is enough to blow any young woman's mind. Could I have been a resemblance of a girl from around the way named Montina? I still wondered about that. You know what she looked like? So many questions. As I patiently waited, Rob called saying, I'll meet you back at the studio, because he was not done with his meeting. Carrie came back and escorted me to the studio. There I waited. Hours went by, no Rob. What is a girl to think? After waiting for some time, I told Carrie I was going back to my hotel. Then I called Rob to let him know where I was and how much I missed him. We talked on the phone, off and on, until 3 o'clock a.m. or so. It seemed like a long night for me with nothing to do. Damn, I need a drink, so I sashayed down to the bar to have some drinks. All I could think about was sex, sex and more sex. My body yearned for more, almost as if I was fainting. He was a habit, a sweet tooth, a must-have that I could not get rid of. The visions of me and him kept popping up in my mind, down, around and around, position to position, the tight delight, the sit and spin, the corkscrew as our bodies intertwined. My heart skipped so many beats. Sex minus dreaming, sitting at the bar. Damn. Quickly I went to my room to wait for his call, gazing out of my hotel window at the beautiful downtown night lights of Chicago. It was a wonderful scene to gaze at. There was so much beauty. The view of the skyline was breathtaking as I dozed off to sleep. I wanted to call Kim, but she was out of town herself, so I had to rough it out. The next morning Rob picked me up from my hotel, driving his drop-top Beamer, with his entourage of course following. Sitting back, he popped in one of his unreleased tracks that he wanted me to hear, assuming it was because of my unbiased ear. How does that sound? He asked. Rob, I really like the beat of the music. Listening as my head was bobbing to the beat, it definitely had hip-hop flavor, with banging beats and his signature background music, as if I was going to say, it did not sound good, oh it was banging. He could never choose a bad choice in songs. We were on our way to the studio. At that point, I felt our relationship had gone to the next level. A day at the studio. We arrived at the studio, which turned out to be a short drive from the hotel. Rob, his entourage and myself entered the studio. All his dancers in the studio just looked and stared me up and down. This is before he married one of his then dancers. My presence was definitely an unwelcome sight to his dancers, so it seemed. My mind was saying, yeah, bitch, that's right, look all you want. How arrogant of me, in a one-piece, all-black lycra bodysuit. To tease and please, this was the intended goal. You look very nice in that. He complimented my style of dress. Definitely eye candy to look at, smooth curves with a pleasant smile. The dancers made me feel a little insecure with their darting eyes. I ignored the cold stares of jealousy. Rob headed for the booth, again leaving me with no one to keep me company. I started feeling the isolation once again. Feeling my own insecurities made me realize an internal conflict had started within. Although I kept a cool, quiet demeanor, the question popped in my head: why would he keep me isolated from the very people that were in his inner circle? Could Rob be too insecure with having his entourage around me, or was he protecting me? Confused, listening to him sing, slipping into a state of euphoria as if no one was there, just the two of us in the studio. Watching him in the studio do his magic with music was quite impressive. It was as though the studio was his lab and the dancers provided inspiration to his composition, or should I say I provided and inspired, like an orchestrated scene. Being in the studio brought back memories of a conversation we had on the phone while he was attending an opera concert in Chicago. Rob stopped every once in a while, showing his attentiveness to make sure everything was alright. He ordered food for everyone, even though he was intriguing through my eyes. You can't help but wonder if there was a drive, Jekyll Mr. Hyde personality inside of him. You see, I am not only sexy, but I use logic and analysis in everything. Who is this man? Who is so gentle and kind? I still could not shake the fact that he was keeping me isolated. All I wanted was his heart, not his money. After all, he did know that my ex-boyfriend was a pro football player whom was a non-factor at the time, but I did mention it to his friend Wayne. Overhearing some people in his entourage whispering, saying her ex played in the NFL. All this talk was nonsense, so I blew everything off. Trying to find escapism, some form of sweet distraction, I started to daydream of lit candles in the hotel, with the ambience of the Chicago night lights in the background. Two bodies sweating profusely, back and forth intertwined, me on top, craving the motion of his shaft deep-rooted in my sweet home. It is horny, wet, tight, and feigning to feel that pop just like the first night. Oh my god, did I just come? The sex is just too much of a habit. Distance does make the heart grow fonder. Rob walked in the room, taking a break from studio singing. He sat next to me and asked, "Are you ready to go?" "Yes, I am." We left, went back to the hotel, already in the mood, enjoying a moment together, talking and caressing each other. Then the next thing I knew, the panties dropped and the passion juices started to flow. He was in full control and I loved it. Enjoying the view once more, sex was more than I had daydreamed it would be, as our bodies were comfortable with one another's explosion on every level. Exhausted, I fell asleep to my surprise. He had left that night while I was sleeping. Rob went back to the studio to do some more work. The next morning we said our goodbyes like usual and kept in contact by phone. I headed back to Michigan and Rob started to get ready for his tour. What happens next is shocking. One of his members in his entourage would betray him. Entourages can be dangerous. The betrayal. After countless conversations on the phone, I returned to Chicago. Rob had a basketball game to play in. Everyone who knows him knows that he loves playing basketball. He sent Wayne to pick me up from my hotel, excited to see Rob again. Wayne was part of Rob's entourage, but he also had known him for quite some time. Wayne was cool, a nice person. He was quite older, and treated me well. I had no attraction to him at all. He told me information about Rob when asked, such as does he date many girls privately, being in a curiosity state of mind, because Rob was showing so much interest in me. I did not want to get too excited, even though it looked as though I was smitten, caught up in Rob's tangled web of lust. Wayne replied with a smile and said, "So you really are into him?" "Of course I am. Why would I be here, and why would you ask?" I said. "Just asking," he replied. Little did I know what was in store for me. It is not certain if Wayne's actions were planned or spontaneous. We started on our way to the game and he derailed from our route to the game, said he had to stop at his apartment to change into some shorts. We arrived to his downstairs basement apartment. He said, "This won't take long, let me take a shower first." A few minutes later, he emerged in a towel. Fear crept into my emotions, intimidated as he sat next to me, putting his hands on my legs, as if it were a suggestion for sex. At that moment I felt trapped. There was no attraction and I had no love for him. Starting to feel dumpy. "OMG, what are you doing? Move your hands off of me." He got on his knees and started to kiss between my legs. I am starting to tremble now, not knowing where to go or what to do. His mouth felt cruddy. He made me feel cruddy, and he was giving me oral sex. It is one thing to be with someone you want to be with, but it is very different when someone violates you or to feel violated. No one should feel this way. There were no feelings of pleasure in this. Worried and fearful where this sexual interlude would lead, tears started to fall from my eyes, followed by a concise moment of sobbing. So he stopped. Thank God there was no penetration with his dick. Well, he did penetrate with his tongue. I'm sorry, he said, as if that had made a difference to me. What you did is not right, I said. I started to think to myself, do I tell Rob what happened? Tranquilized, in total shock. Choosing to be with Rob came with a price over my head. Could he be so cherished that the people around in his camp envied him and wanted what he had? Or was this a valuable price of being a model and a beautiful girl? I knew there would be some consequences if found out. Feeling like the victim of circumstances or not, I emerged more aware of the womanly wilds that I possessed, stronger and wiser as a young woman. I wanted to call Kim so bad, and tell her of my uncomfortable situation, but I already knew that she would be trying to hop the next flight to Chicago to kick some ass. Finally, arriving at the game, I sat and watched Rob play, while saying nothing, trying very hard to mask my emotions and feelings of that day, automatically going into a shell and wanting to be alone, talking to no one, feeling very withdrawn and distant. I thought to myself, you have to put on a happy face, resist the temptation of wanting to run, and throw myself in his arms. Just to feel his warmth of protection would have been enough. Remembering how I used to run to my father whenever I fell down and hurt myself. Harboring the guilt seemed like absolute numbness. The question remains, will I weather this storm? After the game, we went to get something to eat. I told Rob I was tired and had to work early in the morning to do some ghosties and a photo shoot. Actually, I was ashamed and confused about what had happened, afraid of what happens next. Will I be with Rob for the long haul? Only time will tell. The question remains in my head. Should I stand strong beside him, or can I stand tough to move past this and let him be my today? I am not good at having to bear a burden of this sort on my own. What will tomorrow bring from yesterday's pain? Detroit concert. It is concert night. Rob is coming to the Palace of Auburn Hills. I was in my glory. No one was more excited than I was. There was one other concert in my hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. The Palace of Auburn Hills was by far the best. For once, I did not have to travel to Chicago. His visit to Detroit was more than a pleasure, to say the least. This time I got my girl, Kim, with me, and unfortunately, her boyfriend is with her. She could not get rid of the fool. Kim, what's up with Sean? You know where we are and where we're going after the concert, I said. Girl, Sean insecure ass wasn't going for it. Kim, do something, start an argument, whatever, just get rid of him. I need you with me. I will try, Kim said. Do it for ya, girl. We're like sisters, remember that. I told her. The Detroit stop was part of his tour. My backstage passes were set. I met him at the Palace that night. The concert was a sellout. We spent some time together before the concert started. Rob comes out of his dressing room with his hoodie robe on, grabs me by the hand. To the stage we go. Once again, he places me by the curtain, so I would be in plain sight of him. The first words that came out of his mouth once again were, "Your body's calling, distant lover." I smiled. Goosebumps and chills is what I felt. What girl would not feel the same way? How would you feel? The crowd went crazy with screams. I looked up and Rob was just staring at me as I continuously blushed. What did I do to deserve such admiration? The concert was definitely a smash. Carrie comes over to me and said, Rob wants you to wait for him. He also wants you to be very comfortable. Oh really, hum? Thinking to myself, he must be crazy. No one is going to get a peep show. I arrived to what looked like a suite that had all the lavish decorated trimmings. I started to think how this is possible. This is the Palace of Auburn Hills, where the Pistons play basketball, yet this room looks better than some hotels. Oh my god, this is going to be a hot and sweaty night. Finally, the man of the night arrived and I properly greeted him with hot kisses, and all of my clothes on, of course. What kind of intrigue is there if I were naked? After a super hot performance, the sex had to be even hotter than the concert. This night was a personal performance of my own, up close and personal. Hey baby, I have been waiting for you. I started to undress him. He pressed up against my chest, nibbling on my neck and earlobes. On the nightstand, there was the smell of strawberries. My mind is thinking more on the whipped cream tip that made my mouth water and my nipples hard. The buckets of ice cubes were ready and waiting. Just the imagination of coldness, something about ice cubes and erections that is so freaky. Dropping to my knees and licking from the top to the bottom of his shaft, goggling with the other hand. This is what he liked, and I was more than happy to oblige him. Putting the ice cubes in my mouth, along with his erect dick, I massaged it up and down with the ice cubes melting in my mouth. Rob let out a soothing ah-h-h-h. When you see the toes start to curl, that's when you know it's good. On top, I went ready to please, ready to work the pole. The pussy was wet, damp, and moist as he slipped in. All you could hear was the oohs and ah-h-h-h's. A handful of ass bouncing up and down hard. It was not his time to come, at least not right now. Slow down, baby. We switched the assumed position. He grabbed more and flipped me on my back. fucking me harder, bang, 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 as I screamed for more. Putting his dick in my mouth seemed to do the trick so I could taste the juice. After sucking it off, not finished, jumping on top and spinning around with my back to his chest, and he started bouncing me again, falling to the sheets from the thrust entering my belly, now fucking me from the back doggy style, again with no mercy. Gripping the sheets once again, he could no longer hold back, his pipes were about to burst. Yin and yang exchanges and silver stars, it was nothing but absolute pleasure with the pain theme all the way. The simple act of penetrating deeper and deeper, fondling my breast ever so tenderly, it was like being in second heaven, if you know what I mean. Rob is an absolute freak in the bed. Never before have I ever been so sexually uninhibited. Looking at the size of his cock would make any woman want to surrender and be all that he wants her to be in every way possible. I am still not finished, ready for round 2. I will give you a few minutes to rest, and you can have it any way you want it, I whispered. Whatever you like. It was deep throat time as I licked and slurped as if he was my lollipop, popsicle, candy on a stick. There were no sexual limitations. I caressed it, kissed it, slurped it, the soft brown sex skin, finally engulfing it. His toes started to curl again. I could not stop massaging the cock. The rest was fuckified delicious, moaning and begging him to go deeper and harder. I screamed more, and just like that, my ass was up in the air. Smack that ass and I will scream a note as the mad scientist performed his best piece of work. One could call this hardcore as my body shivered and shook. We both came breathing heavy. He rolled over, caressing my ass and softly whispering in my ear, "Are you ok?" Yes, I said, "I'm fine." "I didn't hurt you, did I?" he asked. "No, but I do need to rest for a little while." We both lay naked, basking in the moment of sweetness, talking about tomorrow. Thinking to myself, could I leave sex this good? This beautiful man answers all of my calls and has good sex, but should a man's sex be enough? I called Kim once I got home feeling tired and sleepy but fully satisfied to let her know that everything was all right. Okay, Miss Saint Nick, sliding down the pole at the Palace of Auburn Hills. Yo ass did the nasty with Kris Kringle Kells. Ho, ho, and ho, Kim said. Kim, yo ass is fucked up in the head. No, yo ass is fucked up right now, but in a good way, Kim said. OMG, Kim, here we go. Yeah, you're right, here we go. See, this is what I'm always talking about. Women get some good ass, dick, and that shit goes straight to the brain. I mean, straight to the motherfucking brain. Now yo ass is all whacked out as if yo ass been smoking on some good ass sex weed, some hydro, and some kush. Girl, yo ass better leave him right now before you become too addicted. Kim, I'm cool. Besides, if Sean was a loser in bed, yo ass would have been gone by now. So don't hate, congratulate. Okay, with everything that has happened, this is your chance to make a clean break. You're my girl and I love you, but I don't want to see you get hurt. Get some sleep and we will talk tomorrow. Telephone conversations and traveling were the main forms communication because he toured a lot and was always in the studio. Still, he made time to see me whenever I was in Chicago. Any woman would grow to be quite fond of someone of this nature. You ask for more, what he gives is more. Elated to be able to satisfy him in ways that he enjoyed. However, I wondered, was there more that he wanted? No one else was getting any that night because I had already taken it all. I do mean I took it all, every inch of this well-hung man. I found out something about myself that night. I was a bona fide, kinky freak and Rob had brought it all out of me, or did he just make me feel free enough to be me? By the end of the night, I was addicted to his sex just like a bad habit. Ladies, a badass habit. What the fuck is really going on with me? Thinking about it all the damn time. Shit, my panties are even moist. When I visualize the sex, there has to be something wrong. When you dream about the sex, use it as a stress reliever, tension reliever, a quick fix to an illusion. Self-discovery is a bitch. Could I have a compulsive sex disorder? What is a compulsive sex disorder? Let's break it down, shall we? Compulsive sex disorder. Compulsive sexual behavior, sometimes called hypersexuality, nymphomania, or sexual addiction, may involve a normal, enjoyable sexual experience that becomes an obsession. Compulsive sexual behavior may involve fantasies or activities. Sexual addiction is the most personal form of addiction you will ever encounter. It severely affects your most personal feelings. Sexual addiction has intense conflicts. Once the addiction starts, it leads to a compulsion that you seemingly cannot avoid. Sexual addiction will affect every aspect of your life. You have mixed feelings with your self-respect, intimate relationships, friends. The addiction can even play a role in your finances. In your mind, you become conflicted, confused, remorseful, and ashamed after the fact of engagement in the sex act. It is a constant battle between flesh and spirit. I quickly called Kim. Kim, I think I have a problem. There are 4 forms of sexual addiction or behavior. 1. Preoccupation, when a person continually fantasizes about sexual prospects or situations. Constant sexual focus results in a high level of sexual arousal, which may trigger an episode of sexual acting out. 2. Compulsion, a person continues to engage in sexual activity despite negative consequences and a sincere desire to stop. A sex addict can feel as powerless as an alcoholic can or drug addict can. 3. Ritual, a preferred sexual activity or situation is often stereotyped and repetitive and may include a wide variety of activities intended to keep the arousal at a high pitch rather than aimed at a sexual release. 4. Despair, when a person experiences shame, guilt, remorse, or feeling the intensity over their inability to control their behavior, on the other hand, feels some kind of remorse for the pain that he or she has caused others. The psychological fallout can be just as bad. Kim, I am reading all the signs of this addiction, and I can identify with some of them. In order for me to cure this behavior or sexual urge or need, I am going to have to control the urge with him or for him, or I will have to practice abstinence from sex. Sherry, I think you will have to do just that, Kim replied. Hotel Nico. Hotel Nico. The name changed to the Westin Hotel. There was another hotel called the Fairmont. Both were elaborate and beautiful. Work and duty called in Kai Town. A photo shoot. Rob and I had talked prior to my arrival. He had taken some time out of his busy schedule so that we could spend some time together. Happy and nervous at the same time, anticipating our meeting. I was so deliriously nervous that I could not concentrate on the photo shoot that day. Luckily, for me, I got some good photos from the shoot. We talked off and on all that day. At one point we were talking, he said he was at the mall. I thought, is he crazy? You're at the mall, I said in a surprised voice. How could one of the sexiest men in hip-hop be hanging out at the mall? Imagine the mayhem he would cause. I thought nothing of it and continued to work. After all, I had his eye for the moment. Rob called again to say he would see me later on that day. To my surprise, he had booked a room in a very romantic setting. The place was beautiful, dimly lit. Hotel Nico had the ambience of Japan. The food was excellent. I was mad tired. Seeing Rob made everything worthwhile. Walking in the room, Rob was holding a teddy bear. For whom was this teddy bear? We snuggled, talked about my day, a little foreplay, then I fell asleep. A sex rendezvous is what this was. At this point, I was feeling very comfortable in his arms. To my surprise that day, I was in for one rude awakening. There was a sudden noise in the room, the sound of running water in the bathroom. Sitting up in bed looking around, to my dismay, there was luggage that was not mine. He was still in the bathroom. I took a closer look. There was a woman's name on the luggage tags. My heart sank to an all-time low. Heartbroken, I then pretended as if I had seen nothing when he emerged from the bathroom and kissed me on the forehead. The infamous forehead kiss. I have to go back to the studio. What are you going to be doing? I have to check on some photos with a photographer, I replied. I'll call you later, he said. Okay, I replied. Not asking any questions, we left the hotel separately that day. Confrontation was not my thing. Wounded in my mind and in my heart, I knew it was time to say goodbye. It was over for me. My insecurities had won. I never called again. After that day, I still wondered about that teddy bear. Capricorn man. The Capricorn man is a workaholic who works incredibly hard to achieve his goals in life. This man works extremely hard for his money. When you work hard, you play hard. He is practical, ambitious, and disciplined. Serious-minded. Material success and emotional security is important to this man, along with emotional fulfillment. He is wise beyond his years. His demeanor is cool, calm, collective, laid back. He is very self-assured of himself. You will hardly see this man sweat. The Cap man is very reliable, strong, and will make sure his home lacks wants or needs for nothing. The Cap man is a stable, reliable provider. Appearances are important to him, so he will always have a firm hold on his emotions. This Capricorn man is very private and secretive at times. Some are a bit reclusive or eccentric. It is just part of him. He is concerned with self-preservation, and this man is honest and hates dishonest people. Nothing impresses the Capricorn man. He remains settled and unruffled under that cool demeanor of aloofness that he carries. Make no mistake, he can be fun with a real dry sense of humor. Capricorn males in their youth prefer older girls, usually sometimes considered the ugly duckling. In years to come the reverse happens. They become more distinguishing and now prefers a younger appearance of a woman. Relationships. This man sometimes likes women who are shy like, innocent like, or naive with some old traditional and conventional family values. Cap's home life will and can be normal even if he does not have this person. The around-the-way girl will work just fine. Dictatorial women are less eye-catching to him, for his dubious mind always thinks she has some trick up her sleeve. He is an extremely choosy and selective lover. In his relationships, he would rather have some type of ease of convenience. It allows him to get to know the person first, then there is love. However, there is an irony to all of this. He does not want to feel the pain of any feelings of misfortune or regret. Here is the reason why. It lets him get a chance to study the female before he makes the ultimate move. This man would like to know what is in her head, first opposed to what she looks like. Not to say he does not focus on the bodily, gorgeous, beautiful women, whom he truly desires. See, he loves to be surrounded by beauty. I am not saying he will marry a picture-perfect, beautiful woman. Capricorn men do not like to compete for love when it comes to matters of the heart. Games of that nature, he prefers to be the only one. Love and relationships are not easy to handle for him emotionally. However, physical desire is a necessary part of love for him. How can you have one without the other? The Capricorn man has a compulsive drive when it comes to sex. If you do not believe me, just look at one of the best golfers in the game today. Sex scandal. He is a Capricorn man. He will look for a woman who will do the accepted thing and perform his way. He needs to feel powerfully secure about her before he will want to spend a great deal of his time with her. I should know what I am talking about because I am a Capricorn woman with some similarities, and I repeat, some, not all. Can we say the party is on? The Capricorn man has a very highly sexed libido, one that will prevent him from being with a Sister Teresa. Women, you had better check this out before you marry one and know what you are up against in the sex department. Or sanctimonious mate he wants or prefers. He sometimes tries very hard to restrain himself from sex. Let us look at some Capricorn men to put some oomph or reference into what I am saying. Shock jock radio man. Howard Stern, known for some of his outrageous actions on and off the air. In fact, Howard at one time had a little alleged sex scandal going on himself. Elvis Presley is also a Capricorn man who was or still considered a sex symbol. Elvis married Priscilla Presley at the tender age of 14. I will not say anything else about the king. May the king rest in peace. Cuba Gooding Jr. is also a Capricorn man. Check out his performance in the movie Shadow Boxer. Sexy. LL Cool J, a Capricorn man. As a matter of fact, in every interview I see him and he is always licking his bona fide lips. He needs to put some insurance on those babies. Yummy. Check out his Renby video doing it. Al Capone, Mr. Capone, with much due respect, is indeed a Capricorn man born January 17, 1899. Capone allegedly involved in a sex scandal. Tiger Woods, yes, a Capricorn man born December 30th, 1975, involved in sex scandal. 2009 to 2010. Everything lusty turns the Capricorn man on, even if the wind blows the right way. Because believe it or not, something about the sensations of thoughts that go through his mind. He has these uncontrollable sexual desires, which is commonly known as a compulsive sex addiction, that distresses his mind and body to no ends of the earth. It's more of an annoyance than anything else, the need for sex. Satyriasis is another name for this forbidden addiction. The more he represses this identity, the more it can become bitter and misrepresented. Let us look at what satyriasis means. A neurotic condition in men, which the symptoms are a compulsion to have sexual intercourse with as many women as possible. Some may say that this condition keeps him from having a lasting relationship with these women. He needs to be with someone who's like him, like attracts like. If the Capricorn man is in a relationship with a goody-goody woman, he will make other arrangements outside the home to satisfy his longings and desires. Is it unusual for a man to pay for his desires, shocking sexual urges, or sensational fantasies? This in fact does not make him a bad man. This man prefers lustful sex and often more in line with dominating activities with a woman. Anal penetration of a woman could be a turn on for this man. Due to his vivid thoughts, it is very stimulating and visual. Remember, men are about 90% visual when it comes to women. Capricorns are emotionally restrained and their sexual personality will always keep people wondering, be it man or woman. This is a psychological behavior. Example, the video Trapped in the Closet left quite a speculation of such a man. Not all Capricorns display this type of behavior. People must try to understand, no one is perfect, and no one person lives in a glass house. Rob is like the modern-day Greek god Eros, the god of love, lust, and sexual desire, depicted as a tall adult man with an athletic build. Like Eros, he is equipped with his arrows of desire and words. He is always ready to aim and shoot into the hearts of women, which he would arouse them to their desires. He is like an elemental god of covetousness, love, and intercourse. He embodies not only the force of erotic love, he personifies sexual desire in every way, coupled with the creative urge of writing and visualization. Like the poet Sappho summarized the Greek god Eros as being bitter, sweet, and cruel, yet he was charming, handsome, and inspiring. Like the god Eros, Rob seems to struggle with love and trust in relationships just like any other man. Dating him was satisfying, rewarding, and comfortable for me. His southern accent was inviting, pleasing, and erotic. erotic. This man intrigued me to no ends. I wanted to know more. I wanted to see more. I wanted to feel what his words were all about, because somewhere between the words and music there is an unexplained torture. You can feel the love, the loss, the anger, the lust, the joy, and pain. This is a quote of what Rob had to say about himself. In life, you have people that love to party, that is I. People that love God, that is I. People that love sex, that is I. People that love people, that is I. And people that make mistakes. He pauses. That's me also. I am very conscious, he says, of who I am as an artist and as an inspirational person. I am not perfect. However, you have to make sure that your children will know that daddy makes mistakes. The most important thing, he continues, is that you realize your mistakes once you make them, like daddy does, and know that a lesson can be a blessing. The interviewer posed the question to Rob about the quote-unquote American dream, and this is what he reportedly had to say. For a young black kid in Chicago at the moment, it means just the same as it means for anybody else. Like what? Success, you know, fame, you know. By fame, it could just mean being successful, a wife, a dog, kids, and a big old house with a picket fence. Commenting on the above about the American dream, that is not quite what I expected him to say about that subject. I thought aloud to myself, when posed the question if he thought or felt chosen by a higher power to be famous. This is what Rob quoted as saying about his fame. Yeah, sometimes, but sometimes I feel like I was picked in the wrong way. Well, people, they see you on TV and they automatically say, okay, got him down. That's what he is, that's what he represents, that's who he is, and sometimes that isn't necessarily the truth. The interviewer posed the question to Rob about if he ever felt ashamed or embarrassed about singing the sexual R&B songs and gospel. Commenting on the above question from the interviewer, I found this to be very interesting given the fact that a lot of R&B, country, and rock artists have done this since the beginning of time. For example, Elvis Presley and Ray Charles. Rob gave this quote, "No, never. If I am going to be a leader, then I have to go places that other people are afraid to go. That is what makes a leader. Not to be afraid to step out, go over the front line. Stare darkness right in the face. Sometimes you have to jive a person before you can knock them out though. I look at my music in the beginning and the sexual songs, the partying songs, those are the realities because those things happen. Those things have happened today. Somebody had sex, somebody went to a club, somebody met somebody, some things went down. Some of us weren't meant to be here, some of us were supposed to be abortions. But by destiny we are here, and the inspirational songs are something I choose to do. If I had not struggled, then I would not be inspired to cry out. You see what I am saying? If there is no fire, there is no scream. If there is no scream, then no one hears you, and no one comes to help you in the first place. The depth of my struggle has definitely determined the height of my success. To be able to teach my kids not just about success but about the struggle that comes with it." Commenting on the above quote, I thought his quote was delightfully profound. Music Monthly. A Observer interview with Paul Flynn, Sunday, September 19, 2004. To know him is to love him and his music despite all the little quirks. He seems to think very deeply on so many levels. From the moment he said his first words to me, my guards came down because he sounded so familiar. Rob reminded me of warm summer breezes, hot sweaty summer nights, quiet hospitality. The man is what every woman should have bottled up somewhere on a shelf, ready to crack it open when the urge hits. Rob was what I needed and wanted at the time. I knew that I could have all my sexual hunger and urges met just by our first night without having to say a word. Satisfying his every need was my only agenda because I knew he would fulfill mine. I was not ready to unleash my full erotic desires. My own explicit thoughts of him created some caution inside. Sex in the morning, sex at night, and again in the wee hours of the morning, waiting for him to mold me just the way he wanted. Would everything we do be discreet? Could I arrive in my skimpy Victoria's Secret bearing, just a trench coat, 4-inch heels, in addition to nothing else at to the studio, without having everyone else looking, or attend the strip club together enjoying a night together just for foreplay, fun? My own temptation indiscretions were weighing heavy on my mind. Loyalty and secrets are a few things. I had so many questions and only time would tell. There were very few people who knew of my relationship with Rob, my friend, my mother, my ex-boyfriend, and a cousin. I am always reserved about my relationships to protect myself and others until I'm ready for it to be revealed. I'm just too shy of a person. In Rob's case, it was extremely important for me to keep it hushed. I thought, could this relationship with him ever be normal? Could it become natural? This is a case where it is better not to be in the public eye or heard. It was important for me to separate the man and the artist. After all, there was the R. Kelly and Aaliyah scandal or rumors that were in every magazine. He was very sensitive about the situation, so was my discretion about the relationship I had with him. Money was not important to me. I was more concerned with the way he treated me and, of course, his modesty. Rob is undoubtedly in a league of his own in music. There will never be another R&B singer such as Rob, with his raw, raunchy style of sexually salacious sounds and lyrics. Privacy and discretion is one of the thoughts that first crossed my mind. Knowing the facts, this would be the ultimate part of a relationship with him. What kind of privacy would I have was another question. I decided to let him lead the way behind closed doors because I had no idea where this relationship was headed. Privacy is something that you must master if you are not a private person. If you do not master this task, you will create some difficult problems for yourself. One would be, for instance, not being able to think for yourself, not being able to be who you are without some type of criticism from other people. All of a sudden, you are confused about the choice you made to tell someone. You become a magnet for fake friends with jealous motives, having your business in the streets and not knowing how it got there. Now you have no privacy. Rob has definitely reached a plateau that will surpass such music mogul giants, such as the Purple One, in years to come. Some may disagree with this notion for the simple fact that some people think the Purple One is better rounded. Rob can resurrect careers, bring them back to life and straight to the top of the billboards, such as the Isley Brothers. This is something that the Purple One has not done. One of his favorite singers is Donny Hathaway. The reason being is that he always liked the sound of his voice, how he had a sexual texture that he always wanted in his, as he allegedly reportedly said in an interview. Donny Hathaway died in 1979 by jumping off the 15th floor of the Essex House Hotel in New York. Rob, viewed as one of the best singer, songwriters and producers of his generation. He has also had some tremendous losses in his life, losing the two women he truly loved genuinely, two loves, which he can never get back, losing his mother, and then losing Aaliyah. In an interview, this is what Rob had to say about his mother. "I learned a whole lot from my mother," he says, "about music, relationships, being a good person, loving people, the whole of life. I learned about everything from her. Every single day I think about her all through the day." Music Monthly Observer interview with Paul Flynn. Sunday, September 19, 2004. Aaliyah Dana Houghton was born January 16, 1979 in Brooklyn, New York. Daughter of Diane Houghton. Father of Michael Houghton. Brother Rashad. Husband Robert Kelly annulled that same year. Aaliyah, a prodigy of R. Kelly, he was her mentor, friend, and lover, and for a short time period her husband. I have seen Aaliyah on different occasions during the time I spent with Rob. I never asked questions. It is not my nature to pry, and silently Aaliyah meant a great deal to him. There was a strong bond between the two. A very special person in his life at that time. Like every relationship that is torn apart or interrupted by force, it was difficult for him to lose someone that cared, nurtured, and understood him so privately in many ways, seemingly love in its most rarest form. Aaliyah, in a close distance from me sitting across the room, she appeared to be a very quiet person, with a cool, calm demeanor about herself, always seen with shades on, courting a mysterious, mystic look about her that was sweet and personable. This is part of her Capricorn nature. When you have an old soul, it is almost like you have been here before. Aaliyah always carried herself in that way. It felt like she had been here before. I can see how Rob enchanted her. He was captivating, a bit eccentric, yet talented. She was young, shy, beautiful, and full of promise. Aaliyah fell for the somewhat older, intriguing, sexy Kelly. However, it has been alleged that the two parted ways creatively and personally. Rob was still missing Aaliyah. I could see it in his eyes, the longing, the yearning for her presence, just as you listen to his song "I Cannot Sleep Baby If I," or read the January 1995 issue of Vibe magazine. R. Kelly, the sex, the soul, the sales, and the scandalous marriage to teenage superstar Aaliyah. Both being private people, Aaliyah nor Rob has ever spoken publicly about the relationship between the two. Just like her mentor, who sings about his experiences in love and life, you cannot help but wonder if Aaliyah sang about her love and life experiences. Aaliyah's track "I Care For You," written for the One in a Million album. It did not make the cut, however. It was released on her next album titled Aaliyah. She admits it was written 5 years ago at the time of her last album release. For her previous album, this was during the time of the breakup between her and Rob. One cannot help but wonder, was this track for Rob? Listening to the tracks, it was obvious that she loved him. Being in the middle was difficult, I felt, for me at first. The rumors, people talking about his marriage to Aaliyah and her age. If Rob had been in the South, this would be a different story. However, the controversy was still there. I did not like seeing the pain in his face or in his heart. he still bears the memories and the love forever in his mind and heart, though he will never speak out publicly about her out of respect, in essence of her memory, signifying his love for Aaliyah. Hold on, stay strong, and press on, because at your best, you are loved, and he should know that. People come in and out of our lives for a time, a reason, and a season. Then at some point, they are gone and you will never know why. Some people arrive at a time of comforting, just like angels who are here to help in some kind of way, no matter the how meeting took place, but often touching hearts along the way. Angels will never hurt you, and some people could never exist in their world. This life is a journey and the path is not always easy. Rob has had some angels over his shoulder, praying for him silently. One day his light will shine brighter than ever and everything will be alright. He is like the phoenix that will rise to the top again. The limelight, the stage, living in the fast lane, the life, the endless shows, the non-stop partying, the women. This all creates the split personality of the mind and body. There's the person and there's the sex icon that Rob has become for outside people. It is often hard to separate the two. It's like sex addiction. A little advice: do not sleep with the stars in the video. They are only there for one thing, and that is the booty. The almighty
Okay, sorry, y'all. Sorry. I messed up. My bad. I don't know what happened. What did I do? I hit something and I made us pass where I'm supposed to be. Sorry. It's almost over with. Sorry. Oh my God, it is over with. Sorry. Hold on. That's not. Okay, here we go. Sorry.
People come in and out of our lives for a time, a reason, and a season. Then at some point, they are gone and you will never know why. Some people arrive at a time of comforting, just like angels who are here to help in some kind of way, no matter the how meeting took place, but often touching hearts along the way. Angels will never hurt you, and some people could never exist in their world. This life is a journey and the path is not always easy. Rob has had some angels over his shoulder, praying for him silently. One day his light will shine brighter than ever and everything will be alright. He is like the phoenix that will rise to the top again. The limelight, the stage, living in the fast lane, the life, the endless shows, the non-stop partying, the women. This all creates the split personality of the mind and body. There's the person and there's the sex icon that Rob has become for outside people. It is often hard to separate the two. It's like sex addiction. You just can't stop on a dime notice and give it up. It's too good to stop. The life, the constant craving of success, and having all the finer things in life, all at your fingertips. Loneliness creeps in and you just want to be you, the family person. It becomes a constant internal struggle, creating a conflict of who you really are. My special message to young ladies. My special message to you is one of love and safety. I want you to be safe and careful when going out to any bars, clubs, concerts, or even after parties. I know that meeting celebrities is exciting, flattering / fun, and even if you end up meeting some of their friends or entourages just hanging out, this could be so much fun or it could be dangerous for you. As a victim of rape at the age of 23 on a first date, I feel obligated to share the message of safety to all young women. You need to be always thinking and always on your P's and Q's. This means watch your drink at all times. This means watch your drink at all times. If you leave the table and your drink, do not ever pick that glass back up. Order a new one. You should always be aware of who is serving your drink and where it is coming from. In other words, try to watch your drink to see who is pouring it so that no one can slip you a Mickey. Never, ever get drunk when you are out. Always have a designated driver. It is not ladylike, and just to enforce the message, no drinking and driving. You need to remember where you are and the surroundings so that if anything should happen, someone knows how to find you. Always have enough money for a cab and a phone call if you do not have a cell phone. When you are hanging out with a member of someone's entourage and the two of you strike up a conversation, try get a good feel for what type of person he is. When I say this, I mean how he act towards you. Listen to the conversation that the two of you are having. Always be nice and respectful of yourself, because remember, if you act too excited about meeting him, the first thing he is going to think is that you are a groupie. If his conversation is one that you do not care for, or like, you can excuse yourself, back away and leave. Let him know it was a pleasure meeting him, but you have to go. Try to make some good excuse to leave. This way you can walk away with your dignity and self-respect still intact. This will save you from any embarrassing moment if the person decides to get belligerent, loud, and disrespectful. There is so much more I want to say, to tell you all the ways to stay safe. This would take a lot more time, but I feel the youth of today are so worth it. Clubbing. Ladies, one word of advice: do not close the club down at the end of the night. The guys already know that the only thing left is to hook up and go home with someone. Stay aware. With that said, the only thing open after 2 a.m. is legs. Know that you need to have some kind of accountability for your actions. If you are dressed provocative, meaning your cleavage is showing, your skirt is up to your ass, you could be sending a message to the opposite sex that you are easy. If you are dressed in the same manner going to a man's home or place of living and it is 3 o'clock a.m., do not think there is going to be a lot of talking. There won't be. He will be under the impression that the only thing that will be happening is intercourse. FYI for all young women and teens. Age of consensual sex in the USA. State age law on same-sex intercourse. Alabama 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Alaska 16/M/F/M intercourse. Arizona 18, no law on same-sex intercourse. Arkansas 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. California 18/M/F/M intercourse. Colorado 17/M/F/M intercourse. Connecticut 16/M/F/M intercourse. DC 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Delaware 18, no law on same-sex intercourse. Florida 18, no law on same-sex intercourse. Georgia 16/M/F/M intercourse. Hawaii 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Idaho 18, no law on same-sex intercourse. Illinois 17/M/F/M intercourse. Indiana 16/M/F/M intercourse. Iowa 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Kansas 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Kentucky 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Louisiana 17, no law on same-sex intercourse. Maine 16/M/F/M intercourse. Maryland 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Massachusetts 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Michigan 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Minnesota 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Mississippi 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Missouri 17, no law on same-sex intercourse. Montana 16/18 meters M 18/F 18 meters M/M. Nebraska 17, no law on same-sex intercourse. Nevada 16/M 18/F 18 meters M/M intercourse. New Hampshire 16/M 18/F 18 meters M/M intercourse. New Jersey 16/M/F/M intercourse. New Mexico 17/M/F/M intercourse. New York 17/M/F/M intercourse. North Carolina 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. North Dakota 18/M/F/M intercourse. Ohio 16, no law on same-sex intercourse. Oklahoma 16, no law on same-sex intercourse.
She's just talking about the age of consent, and then whether or not there's a law for same sex as well. That has nothing to do with Robert. She's just talking about what the law is. So don't take it like it's something that she's talking about Robert. No, she's just talking about the law.
If there is some confusion, check your state laws. Biography. Early life. Born into poverty and distress in Chicago's South Side projects, young Robert and his two brothers and sister and mother Joanne struggled to survive in the streets. After a shooting by a mugger as a teenager, Kelly looked to basketball and music to get him away from the atmosphere that had consumed so many young black individuals in the projects. Guided by his teacher Lena McLin, Kelly entered a career in music after wowing his high school friends, singing the classic Stevie Wonder ballad, Ribbon in the Sky at a talent show in 1984. Early career. By 1988, Kelly had started to develop his unique sounds playing his keyboards and becoming a street performer. A young musical executive by the name of Wayne Williams saw Kelly and helped get him signed to his first.
It's called Addicted to Love. It's Christine Klein, who had a relationship with Robert. She was a model. That's what it's called, Stacy. And what she's doing is basically giving you some like a early history, his career and stuff like that.
A young musical executive by the name of Wayne Williams saw Kelly and helped get him signed to his first and only record label, Jive Records, in the end of 1989. After forming the group Public Announcement, he and the group went into the recording studio in the end of 1990 and recorded much of what would be born into the 90s at a recording studio Kelly leased. Within a few months, songs like She's Got That Vibe, Slow Dance, Dedicated, Definition of a Hottie and Honey Love would be the featured songs in Born Into the 90s, which was released several days after Kelly's 25th birthday in 1992. A huge R&B success, the album would yield the featured songs as the hits and would eventually go platinum, selling over 1 million copies. 12 Play and Aaliyah. By 1993, Kelly is by himself. It only took him a few months to captivate the sounds that would fully launch the young musician as one of the singular greatest talents of music during much of the 1990s. Released that fall, 12 Play fully launched Kelly's career into the stratosphere and yielded the smash hits Sex Me, Your Body's Calling, and the monster #1 Sex Romp Bump and Grind. Kelly was now so big that by 1994 he was able to produce for other acts. Starting with singer Aaliyah, he found huge success for Aaliyah with the songs Back and Forth and Age Ain't Nothing but a number off the album of the same name of the latter hit. Kelly and Aaliyah allegedly married in 1994 despite the fact that Kelly was then 27 and Aaliyah only 15. The marriage quickly annulled, and Aaliyah ended her partnership with Kelly, going on to a hugely successful career that was short-lived when she died in a plane crash on August 25, 2001. Kelly's alleged antics of falling in love with teenaged women would begin to haunt the singer nearly 10 years later, but at the time, that marriage brushed off to the side with the denials of their union by both singers. R. Kelly, the singer, songwriter, and producer. However, R. Kelly later admitted that he and the late singer Aaliyah were indeed married. After his brush with controversy, Kelly returned to the studio to record his third album, his second solo effort, in the studio he now owned. He released his self-titled album in 1995. Like its predecessor, became a big success, selling over 5 million copies and unleashing classics like You Remind Me of Something, a top 5 pop and #1 R&B record in 1995, I Can't Sleep Baby If I, a top 10 pop and R&B single in 1996. His collaboration with legendary R&B singer Ronald Isley of the famed Isley Brothers, Down Low, a top 10 pop and R&B record in 1996. Some as the singer's most mature record hailed that album. Before then, people had perceived Kelly to be a sexual deviant because of the lyrics on 12 Play. In 1995, Kelly found his huge success as a songwriter, penning hits for R&B group Changing Faces and pop and R&B music legends Janet Jackson, producing the remix for Jackson's 1994 smash Anytime, Anyplace, and Michael Jackson penning and co-producing the single You Are Not Alone for Jackson's History album in 1990. I Believe I Can Fly, RNTP2, Com. In 1996, fresh off the success of his own albums and off producing hits for other artists, Kelly would release his most successful single ever with the theme song from the Michael Jordan movie, Space Jam - I Believe I Can Fly. The inspirational song became a #2 smash at the end of the year and helped Kelly win 3 Grammy Awards, including Best R&B Song, nominated both for Song of the Year and Record of the Year for that particular song. Kelly took 2 years off from music until coming back with the ambitious double concept album, R, in 1998. That album featured a smash with pop superstar Celine Dion titled I'm Your Angel, which became Kelly's second #1 single. In 1996, fresh off the success of his own albums and off producing hits for other artists, Kelly would release his most successful. In 1996, fresh off the success of his own albums and off producing hits for other artists, Kelly would release his most successful single ever with the theme song from the Michael Jordan movie, Space Jam - I Believe I Can Fly. The inspirational song became a number 2 smash at the end of the year and helped Kelly win 3 Grammy Awards including Best R&B Song, nominated both for Song of the Year and Record of the Year for that particular song. Kelly took 2 years off from music until coming back with the ambitious double concept album, R in 1998. That album featured a smash with pop superstar Celine Dion entitled I'm Your Angel, which became Kelly's second #1 single on the Billboard Pop Singles chart. It also featured the soul anthem for Love Gone Wrong songs When a Woman's Fed Up and the Sam Cooke-inspired If I Could Turn Back the Hands of Time. R would become Kelly's biggest-selling album in the US, selling over 8 million copies alone. In 2000, Kelly returned to his lover man persona with TP2, Calm, which stood for 12 Play 2, a sequel to his 1993 classic album. Ironically, the biggest singles were not based on his sexual prowess. I Wish, a top 10 pop and #1 R&B record, was dedicated to the people Kelly adored who passed away, including his mother and a best friend from the old days, and Fiesta, whose remix version featured acclaimed rapper Jay-Z and was a top 5 pop and #1 R&B single, was about partying. However, the album's third biggest single, the loose and humor-filled feeling on Yo Booty, was immediately comparable to Marvin Gaye in his post Let's Get It On period and to Kelly's earlier hit Bump and Grind, the best of both worlds at the worst of bad times. He also became noted for his hooks on other artists' singles, including a collaboration with the late Notorious B.I.G. on the single Fucking You Tonight on the late rapper's Life After Death album, and was the man to make hits off of songs for Puff Daddy Satisfy and Fat Joe We Thuggin'. By a couple of years, his collaborations with Jay-Z finally led to what was supposed to be a history-making project, as the rapper and the singer teamed up to record an album together. Released in 2002, The Best of Both Worlds debuted at #2 on the Billboard Pop Albums chart, with a combination of no singles and a controversy regarding Kelly allegedly making a sex tape with an underage teenage girl. The album was a disappointment for both Kelly and Jay-Z, who did not want to be associated with the singer during his child pornography trial. The trouble with girls. The troubles following Kelly's alleged rapports with underage girls go as far back as 1991, when several young women had accused the singer of having sex with them. In 1994 and 1995, rumors surfaced that Kelly had married fellow singer Aaliyah, though neither party ever publicly admitted to this marriage. However, none of the prior reports reached the level of publicity that followed the release of a videotape in February 2002 that allegedly showed Kelly and a 14-year-old daughter of an associate and niece of a former Kelly protege engaging in sex. The tape, released by an unknown source, sent to the Chicago Sun-Times, the newspaper that broke the story. While witnesses have identified Kelly and the girl, the alleged girl herself and her parents have denied that she is the person shown on the tape. Bootleg copies of the tape became widely available on the black market. The tape showed numerous sex acts, including him urinating on the girl. In June 2002, Kelly indicted in Chicago for 7 counts of soliciting a minor for child pornography, 7 counts of videotaping the acts, and 7 counts of producing child pornography. In addition to those charges, Kelly was further indicted in Florida in January 2003 on 12 counts of possession of child pornography. However, the charges dropped after the search that led to the indictment ruled illegal. In 2004, allegations emerged that among Kelly's sordid tapes was one including gospel singer Delian Richards, who is also the wife of New York Yankees baseball player Gary Sheffield, the Pied Piper of Ren. Despite the controversies, Mr. Kelly moved on, with his career releasing his first album since the allegations came up with the 1960s and 1970s era soul music-inspired Chocolate Factory in 2003. The album became a big success, yielding the #2 hit remix of Ignition and the top 10 single, Step in the Name of Love, as well as the top 20 single, Snake. Kelly's February release of the album started an eventful year, musically for the singer-songwriter-producer, as he would produce the #1 hit Bump, Bump, and Bump for the now-defunct teen group B2K. His productions on the Isley Brothers' Body Kiss album helped land the album at #1. His collaborations with several other acts, including the Big Timers, Cassidy, and Jennifer Lopez, became modest hits that year also. In 2004, he decided to release a 2-sided double album, showing his different sides titled Happy People / You Saved Me, with one side, Happy People, celebrating club-going smooth dance-oriented soul cuts, and the other showcasing Kelly's inspirational side. Both title tracks released as singles in mid-2004, with Happy People becoming a moderate hit and You Saved Me a relative flop whose lyrics and message were lambasted as cheesy by many, including the television station VH1. Kelly and Jay's released a follow-up to the Best of Both Worlds album in October 2004, Unfinished Business, which included 11 previously unreleased tracks by the duo. It debuted at #1 on the US Billboard Albums chart. This release timed to coincide with the Best of Both Worlds tour. Jay's eventually removed R. Kelly halfway through the tour. After R. Kelly accused Jay's entourage of attacking him with mace or pepper spray. Ironically, Kelly had referred to himself on record as the Pied Piper of R&B. Last year, he had a pop hit in a collaboration with rapper Yarul and singer Ashanti titled Wonderful. He expects to release a new album titled TP3 Reloaded in July, which he had promised fans would herald back to his classic 12-play periods. In April 2005, Kelly released the long-awaited In the Kitchen, well known among fans attending his live shows. The song was intended to be the album's lead single and received major radio airplay for a couple of months, but Kelly eventually decided to leave it as a buzz single. It quickly followed up just weeks later with his Trapped in the Closet saga, which rapidly climbed, and then suddenly fell, the R&B and urban charts nationwide. After the novelty success of the 5-chapter song, which Kelly had likened to an After the novelty success of the 5-chapter song, which Kelly had likened to an audio version of Desperate Housewives prior to its release, Kelly revealed that he was working on parts 6 through 10 of the song. They are releasing to radio later this summer, in a similar fashion to how the first 5 released, and Kelly has promised that the next 5 parts will tie up some loose ends that the first 5 left. TP3 Reloaded, the third single Plies, only hit the radio airwaves and music video networks prior to the album's release. The song features the rapper The Game and is currently charting. The above biography has been copied in part or in whole from an article on wikipedia.org.
Okay, that's where she got that information from. She's telling you she got it from Wikipedia. Now she got a spot where he's speaking. Hold on a second.
Rob speaks out in his own words. From the beginning I wanted to speak, believe me. I was gritting my teeth every time I would hear something negative about me or something that is not true about me. It hurt me and I wanted to say something bad, but unfortunately, even now I have one hand tied behind my back. However, I had to come out and say something, because I know my fans are out there, and they want to hear me talk. Everybody else wants to hear me talk. I wanted to hear myself talk. I have done many things that I regret. I have done many things which are wrong. Unfortunately, we do not have a lot of time to lay out all of my sins. I got a lot that is in me that I am dealing with personally, and I am seeking help. I have been talking to a pastor, Reverend Meeks in Chicago, and he has been counseling me on some personal things that I am going through. However, I am not a person that would do what people are saying. There are many people out there saying that R. Kelly is a monster, and I just think there are many people out there misinformed about who I am. Robert goes on to tell Norris that, I am not going to lie. I am not going to sit here and say I am some angel or some perfect person, but there are things that people have done in their lives that they regret, and I am no different. I am a human being, and I want people to know that I am no angel here, but I am no monster either. There are many things that I have done in my life that I truly regret. I am no criminal. Robert asked in an interview about his success and situations within their age. Is it a concern? This is what Robert had to say. Kelly, that has always been a question in my mind most of the time, but I am not going to sit and lie. I am not going to ID people, because most of the times I meet women, it is in clubs, and in clubs, they are supposed to be 21 and over. Many times when I have met a woman, it is coming from an after-show party. I go to the party and there are all kinds of women there and they are after you, and sometimes I am after them, too. In addition, those are the things, and I am trying to change. Those are the things, and I am trying to work on being with the wrong crowd, or being around many women all the time, and that whole thing. The success can get out of hand, and it has gotten out of hand. I believe that is one reason why this has gotten so out of hand. Comment reporting on the above article. Whenever going to a club/party and drinks are served, you are to show some form of ID to get in the door, and the age is supposed to be 21 or over. If Rob is in attendance, why should age be a concern? It is against the law to have underage women or men in a club where there is alcohol being served. Rob asked the question about the recent allegations and settlement with Tiffany Hawkins and Tracy Sampson. Why did he choose to settle? This is what Robert had to say. Kelly, I can understand why people would think that. You suppose if someone were innocent they would be ready to fight. However, I want people to know that there is a difference when you are famous. Moreover, I wish I had not settled those. I cannot do anything about that now, but my lawyers told me at the time that I should settle because I had many things going on. Some hits were out at the time, and it was R. Kelly Rising. In addition, at that time those people came at me. The lawyers said it was best for me not to go on with this because it could mess up my career or whatever, and now I regret that. I wish I had fought. If it were today, I would fight that. I truly would fight that. This other thing that is at me now, people claiming whatever they are claiming, I am fighting it. I am not settling that because I feel like I keep settling things, and it is as if everybody is coming out of the woodwork trying to be paid. Comment reporting on the above article. One has to wonder if a woman keeps having sex with a man for months and years and she keeps coming back for more. Where is the wrongdoing? The person has the power to stop going back. One has to wonder again, if you the person continues to have sex for years, are you not having consensual sex? Rob asked in an interview about his fame, influence, and reputation involving young girls. This is what Robert had to say. Kelly, if it is just about young girl, that is just not me, because I have not done that. Nevertheless, as far as women in general, I do honestly believe that your fame has a lot to do with why you get with women. I walk into a club and I can come out with 2 or 3 women, and that is a problem for me. I was living the life of R. Kelly, but that is something that I am working on. I am trying to change that part of my life and make it better. I am trying to take one step at a time doing that. Comment reporting on the above article. He is genuinely aware of the fame and influence. He sounds very sincere about taking responsible steps to rectify his current situations. When one has acquired the superstar status as he has, there will always be women everywhere he goes. Is it fair for him to be singled out by the media when it comes to the involvement of women? After all, you see superstars of his status leave the clubs with 4, 5, 6 women all the time. Rob asked in an interview the question about the rumors and stories about him preferring young women. This is what Robert had to say. Kelly, I have not heard Robert prefers young women. I have not heard that rumor. That's a new one on me, but I know I got a reputation out there, and I really do believe because of the 2 lawsuits in the past that I settled, I do believe that me being famous has left a trail of people trying to come at me, and then rumor got around also that I settle things. I pay money to make it go away. That is why I really wish I had not done that. Kelly, when I go into a club, if I see a young lady that's looking at me and I'm looking at her, and the whole eye contact thing happens and she happens to be sexy to me or attractive to me, then I may approach her. Many times, I do not get to approach them because they are approaching me. I believe in my fans and I know that my fans believe in me. They still play my music. My music is still selling. That lets me know that this situation did not affect that. However, I believe that people got into my personal business in the studio. Comment reporting on the above article. He has answered the question to the rumors and stories of young women. Robert has faced the public, took the stand, and faced adversity in the eye. In the interview, when asked the question about how he felt about the boycotting his music, this is what Robert had to say. Kelly, I only know of one, and that really hurt me. It really hurt me because those people do not know me. They have never seen me and I have never seen them. And I said to myself, this has got to be some kind of setup to hurt me, because why would someone be on TV breaking my CD when they don't know the facts, when I haven't been charged, and when nobody has said, you're guilty? Why break my CD? I have given you 13 years of my music and me. Comment reporting on the above article. Robert Kelly is one of the best in the music industry when it comes to songwriting, producing, and co-producing. He is the lyrical genius of his era. The music industry needs his talent. Robert is innocent of all charges in the court of law. Why would stations boycott his music? Get over it and move on. Let us the public hear more of our Kelly music. Kelly, yeah, and this is America. I have always said I have a few issues that I am dealing with. In my music, I cry. It is a cry. People that listen to me know that. They know my heart is honest about the fact that I am no angel here. I am trying to come out. I got songs that are great, beautiful, I believe I can fly songs, and I got these bump and grind songs, but that is a struggle. Kelly, there are 2 sides to all of us. Everybody is struggling with something. Nobody is perfect. We are all human and I am dealing with something. Moreover, I am not ashamed to say I have a problem with women. However, I am not the things that people are saying about me. Robert asked in an interview about the comment he made about having a problem with women and does he talk to his pastor about it. This is what Rob had to say. Kelly, yes, that, and just the problem with myself. Sometimes I get egotistical and I do not want to be like that. Sometimes I am R. Kelly and I really just want to be Robert. Sometimes people influence me. You know what I am saying. Sometimes I want to take a drink. Sometimes I do not. And sometimes I may do it because somebody says, hey man, let's go drink. I am growing and it is a part of growing. You start seeing yourself for who you really are because you start seeing life for what it really is and you start having kids and a family and a wife and stuff. You do not want to hurt the ones love and you do not want to make the same mistakes. Comment reporting on the above article. One has to wonder, has the media dealt too harshly with Robert Kelly because of his trial? Like all people, he is human. He is a man. We all have flaws and we all have problems that we have to deal with. What makes his DNA any different? Robert asked in an interview if he has any regrets about his behavior and women. This is what he had to say. Kelly, well, as far as women or partying too much, it is not just women. Of course, I have no shame in saying I love women, and I do and I probably always will, but I have a problem with trusting people, just as I have a problem being around the wrong people, and this has led me to something like this. You know, people taking my CDs out of the studio and selling them. There is an album out there right now that they claim is my album, and it is all over the place. Somebody got it out of my studio because I got too many people in the studio. These are things I am trying to change in my life. The women thing, the friends thing, I probably spend like $2 million a year just on Chinese food and pizza for everybody because I got these 10 people in the studio that does not sing or that do not produce. Comment reporting on the above article. This seems to be a non-factor question as to how he as a man should react to women. The game between men and women remains the same. The only factor that has changed is the faces. Some women do not trust men. Some men do not trust women. It is a meat market out there. Trust will always be an issue between men and women. Trust is the one thing that is truly sacred in all relationships. One has to wonder, what is his behavior supposed to be like when it comes to dating? Rob asked in an interview, would you like to say anything to your fans? This is what Rob had to say. Kelly, first, I want to apologize to my fans for all of this and thank them for being there for me through thick and thin. Because even in the past, my fans have always been there for me, and I just want to ask them to focus on my music and do not focus on this. Just focus on the music, focus on my talent, and get through this with me. Moreover, I want to ask people out there to pray for me, not just that I come through this situation, but that I am the man that I want to be and a better person. Comment reporting on the above article. This is a genuine response from Robert asking for his fans' forgiveness, acknowledging and thanking them for their continued support of prayers for him and his music. What praiseworthy acknowledgement to his fans coming from an R&B legend. Everyone is wondering what Robert had to say about Sparkle. This is what he had to say in an interview. Kelly, Sparkle has a very good reason to be mad at me right now. We had a business relationship and it did not work out because she wanted to have somebody else produce her after her first album was a hit, and I just did not understand that. It is not an ego thing, but I am the top. I am one of the top producers out here, and I told her, I produced this and I'm not going to let somebody else produce your album. I'm producing your album. And it became a very big deal, and I believe a big part of it was that she was in a relationship with this producer, and it started going downhill ever since. She started thinking that I am trying to tell her what to do in the next album, and she quit. She left the company and her career went downhill. I have gotten little threats from her and now she hates me and it is my fault. Comment reporting on the above article. Everyone has a decision to make and Sparkle made hers. She chose to take her career in a different direction with a different producer. Unfortunately, this route was an unfruitful one for her. Does she have reason to be upset at Robert R. Kelly to MTV's John Norris in May 2002? Rob quoted as saying, on what people say about him. People can say whatever they want about you without knowing the facts. They can criticize you without even knowing you, and hate you when they don't even know you. All of a sudden, you're like the Bin Laden of America. Osama Bin Laden is the only one who knows exactly what I'm going through. Interview with Blender Magazine, September 2003. Human or monster? The mind is a fascinating mechanism, very complex. The behavior is questionable for most people to digest. Rob depicted as a monster to some people, even hated by many. I do not condone his behavior, neither do I condemn, for we have all made mistakes. I have taken a lot of heat from some of my close friends and allies on the topic of R. Kelly, engaged in many heated discussions and debates on Rob's alleged sexual encounters that it makes me want to scream. Listen people, just stop for a minute and think about the human behavior. Human behavior for a man who is allegedly illiterate says a lot about his behavior with younger, possibly immature women. Men want to feel superior in some way or another. They need to feel adequate in a relationship, not inadequate or inferior. So if a man is allegedly illiterate, but very street smart, chances are he is not going to go out or date a woman who is very college educated, or one with her degree in hand, or the trifling business savvy sister who thinks she can get over has no chance in hell. However, there is a good chance he will go after someone who is younger than he is, a woman that will not question whatsoever, and people, you know what I am saying is the truth. The only thing that some or most of these young women are worried about is what kind of car does he drive, getting and keeping her hair and nails done, shopping sprees. Oh, let us not forget how much money he has, and Rob has a lot of it. Young women today are more vulnerable than ever before, and majority will do many things, be it wrong or right, when money is involved and when they know a person has it, and a lot of it. R. Kelly timeline.
Okay, that is it, y'all. That is it. Hope you guys, this is a timeline she's about to do, but that was it with the end of the story. Anybody? Oh, y'all want to see what she?
Kelly time.
Hold on.
Kelly music in the near future. The infamous sex video bonus. The infamous sex video. The question everyone wants to know from me. Have you seen the video? Yes, I have seen the video. My first reaction was a sudden gasp for air, then falling to the bed and thinking to myself, how could you? What were you thinking? How could you let someone obtain a tape of you having sex with women? I watched the first half. Okay, yeah, I don't want to hear that. But this is what she looked like. Hold on. Did y'all want to hear that part? The bonus part? The infamous sex video? Y'all want to hear it? Do you want to hear it? Do y'all want to hear what she says about the infamous sex video? All right, we'll play it. Hold on. The infamous sex video bonus. The infamous sex video. The question everyone wants to know from me. Have you seen the video? Yes, I have seen the video. My first reaction was a sudden gasp for air, then falling to the bed and thinking to myself, how could you? What were you thinking? How could you let someone obtain a tape of you having sex with women? I watched the first half of the video and then cut it off because I could not watch the whole thing. I was in total shock, not because it was a sex video. The simple fact is it appeared to look him in the video. The person in question was displaying the same sexual tendencies and sexual characteristics. My stomach was in knots. However, in retrospect, technology is so advanced right now that it is very hard to determine if someone did not piece scenes together of him having sex with different partners. Allow me to elaborate. It appeared to look like him. It appeared to look as though he was engaged in having sex with these women, and beyond a reasonable shadow of doubt, you cannot prove it was indeed him on the video. My personal take is that technology is excessively advanced to make a definite assumption. The video in question, sent in and not taken from his home personally by law enforcement. In my mind, tampering would come into play. You heard that, right? She said in her mind, she believed that videotape was tampered with because it didn't come straight from a law enforcement who went into his house and got it. So I agree with her. I agree with her 100%. But y'all want to see what she looked like? Hold on, let me show y'all what she looked like. Hold on, let me show you what she looked like. This is what she looked like. This is what she looked like, y'all. That's what she looked like. You see her? Pretty girl. That's what she looked like. That is what she looked like. Yep, perspective. Now you see what we were talking about. Now you see what we're talking about. Guys, that's why I tell you guys, you got to listen to these books and keep an open mind now. I'm telling you, these books will help the attorneys out in certain things, because did she complain about their relationship? No, she did not. She was smitten.
But she just made a choice that she knows that, he had other women. And when she saw that suitcase in that room, she's like, oh, okay, I got to let this relationship go. You got to let it go because it's not for me. So now once did she say she was tied up. She couldn't eat. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. She had some insecurities, she said, But as far as, it was a typical relationship. It was a typical relationship. You in a relationship with a superstar. You're not going to be the main one. But he did treat her as if she was the main one for a certain amount of time. Then after that, she was like, now I'm not going to... So that dispelled all this other crap that they were talking about. And this is around the time that they claim, remember 1990 something, all that. She was one of the ones in the relationship with him. She didn't say nothing about she caught a STD either, did she? Nope. Nope, she didn't. You thought I went to sleep? Tim, where you been? I've been talking to the people in here. So. Oh, and I do have something I wanted to read to you guys in regard to the summer stuff that Mr. Kelly has done. Some positive things that he has done in his... Just hold on a second. Oh, I'm going to have to yawn. Not sleep yet, Tim. Not like yesterday. Yesterday I was tired. Okay. I'm going to read all the stuff that Mr. Kelly has done. Okay, this is the positive things that he has done. The philanthropy. All right, this is what he has done. He has given to various charity in the United States and around the world through donation and proceed of special performances. One, Kelly made 20, is it francs? I don't know. It has an F in front of it. 20,000 francs of euros, 20,000 euros donation to UK charity in 1995, which was accepted by Kelly's representative and former footballer Golf Crook. We need to go find Golf Crook. Golf Crook. Let's see. Let me write this name down. Guys, write this name down. Golf, Garth, and Crooks is his name. Crooks. Okay. Then Kelly gave $50,000 to the Texas Military Family Foundation in 2003 after organizing a fundraising event for them. Then Kelly also participated in a charity event to raise awareness about the fight against breast cancer. Okay. In 2003, Kelly released a singular soldier's heart and donated the entire proceeds to the family of United States soldiers. So that one. Okay. Then soldier's heart. Okay. Kelly made public the song Rise Up for Virginia Tech and the aftermath in 2007 school shooting. So he did the Rise Up song for them and the money went to that, the charities, whatever. Then made donation, the net proceed to the victim's family. That's what he did with that. Then R. Kelly performed at a concert for the Special Olympic in Angola in 2010 and donated several specific design wheelchair. That same year, he wrote the song Sound of a Victory for FIFA World Cup, with all the proceeds benefiting the African charities. Then Kelly performed at the charity event in Chicago in 2011 to benefit Clara's House. You know, Clara's House is where for women who are abused. Did you know that? All right. Then, thank you. I tell you, perspective, you just be on it, girl. You just be on it. Okay. Then in 2000, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is Clara's House is not defunct, or it stopped functioning in 2018. But to facilitate dedicated by providing employment, housing, healthcare, and education in Chicago's projects. Okay. Then Kelly donated cases of water to Flint water crisis in 2016. So these are some of the things that Robert has done. Y'all block this person. I don't like negativity. Young lady, you're in the wrong place for the negativity. I know you have issues with positivity, but I ask you not to come in here. Guys, block her, please. Because obviously somebody has something going on with them within themselves that they want to come in here and talk crap. But anyway. Okay. Thank you, perspective. Yeah, this is what I don't understand. I am in my channel, minding my business, talking about the stuff that I want to talk about. And she comes in here and saying we are sick. No, I am well. I am very well. I am doing wonderful. But it's pretty sad that she's so miserable. You need to probably come to our affirmation classes and get some affirmation, because it's obvious that you're not too happy with yourself, that you're deflecting the hatred that you have for yourself towards us. So we will add you to our prayer, okay? What is her name? Oh, she don't even put her name. Wow. Okay. All right. But anyway, guys, that was a good thing, right? You did, Janice? Okay. So, anything else, guys? I'm about to get off. I got to get myself ready. I got to go help my girlfriend. She finally completed all her moves, and now we're trying to straighten up the office so they could do the inspection, so she can be up and running by tomorrow. So we got to make sure her office is done. Tell me, Kimberly. Hello. Tell me. Well, Kimberly, I miss you because all my Kims have been here, and I've been missing you because you're the only other Kim that's missing, because Kimberly Black has been here, Kimberly Nay, Kim Tucker, there's another Kim. And now I was missing you. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm glad everybody who has been sick, something has happened to, that you guys are okay. Well, we're going to pray for her. I am Queen Newton OCOV. Let's put her on a prayer list. I'm going to put her on my prayer list, because obviously something that she's yearning for, that she comes in here for attention. So we're going to pray for her. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I am not joking, seriously, because obviously there's something going on within her spirit. Okay, Newton OCOV. Okay, I'm going to put when we close out, I'm going to definitely put a prayer in for her. Okay. Shout out to you, Joycelyn. Shout out to you. Okay. Oh, my girl, Deborah here. She says, praise the Lord, Miss Sylvia, my sister in Christ. That is so awesome that God has given Mr. Kelly such a big heart. What people need to focus on. Yeah, definitely, y'all. We need to start telling, I almost forgot. Somebody sent me something and they wanted me to share. Hold on. I almost forgot. Sorry, person. It said here there's a video they want me to play. Okay. Hold on a second. I just want to see what the video is first. Oh, it's 28 minutes.
So I wanted to come talk to y'all
This is my girl, Sweet That Queen. Okay, y'all, if y'all want to see her video, I'm gonna put the link in here too, so you guys go look at it. But she wants to I'm gonna put it in so you guys can go check her out. Hold on. She sent this to me. Hold on. And I'm not even subscribed. Let me go subscribe to her right now. Y'all go subscribe to her. Hold on. Let me just type her up, Sweets. I mean, she hasn't been here in a while. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Hold on. Let me get the video for y'all. Hold on. She sent me a video, but she got all this other stuff in here. Hold on. I'm trying to find the one she just sent me. Okay, what this one? I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the chat for y'all. Share. Copy. And go into my chat. Okay, let me go into my chat. Okay, my live. Okay, let me go into my chat. Okay, my live. Okay, let me go into my chat. Okay, my live. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, that's her link. She just gave it to me. Hey, Matt. Hey, everybody. All right, let's Hey, Ashley. Okay, let's go ahead and close this out. And guys, anytime you see anything that is uplifting, that's positive for Rob, please send it to my email. Please, anything that's positive and amen. There she go, y'all. There she is right there. She's still here. Okay, y'all. Please go to her channel, subscribe. This one here is a 28-minute video. So let me just play it for a minute and then let's see. You guys, please go over there, subscribe and watch it because she's saying some good stuff. Hold on. Oh, why am I over here? I'm over here with my stuff. Hold on. Duh.
Seems like you ready and age ain't nothing.
Hold on a second.
But a number that he wrote for Aaliyah, somebody else. You know, I want y'all to keep that in mind and save that for later. Something that he wrote for somebody else. People was using against him, right? Oh, and it was like age ain't nothing but a number. He was talking about young girls, seems like you ready, all that. Okay. So boom, let's say that was the case. Okay, it's fine for Kels. So let's move over to As We Held. And I'm only calling her As We Held because I'm pretty sure that's what Kels is calling her right now. But I took some little notes. I'm not gonna play her video because she ain't gonna strike my little channel down. You know.
Oh, so this is a year ago that you did this. You did this a year ago. She did this a year ago. You guys go watch it. I thought you did something recently. I want something more recent. Y'all go and Subscribe, please. Pretty please. Go look at her channel. Okay, I'm about to say our prayers and then I'm about to leave because I got to get dressed, y'all. It's 2 hours and she's going to be waiting on me. Please go over and subscribe to Sweet's channel, please. Pretty please, with sugar on top. Okay, let's pray. We're going to put this young lady in... You know what? Let me find a special prayer for her in this book here, because obviously, um, let's see what we're going to. Freedom from bitterness. Maybe we should pray for her about her bitterness. Let's see. And we're going to call her Newton OVC. Newton OVC. That's what we're going to call her. We're going to replace it. We're going to replace it. Because she's very, very bitter. And we're going to pray for her regarding her bitterness. Because, okay. All right. So we're going to pray because she has come in here because she has some unresolved bitterness. Okay. All right, let's do this for her. Freedom from bitterness. We're going to focus on the scripture, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. Heavenly Father, I know there is no place for bitterness in believers' life. Your grace makes it possible for us to be free from all bitterness and resentment. Thank you, Lord. You offer light to everyone who is in misery, especially, Father God, Newton OCOV, and life unto the bitter in soul. It is bitterness that leads to envy and strife. And when a believer engages in such behavior, he is lying against the truth. The people who crucified you, Lord Jesus, were full of bitterness and rage. It blinded them from the truth, and they continued in bitterness until their deaths. There is such defilement in bitterness, and has the power to destroy people's lives. Lord, I never want to deny your truth through bitterness or any other sin. In your word, you showed how the heart knows its own bitterness, resulting in loneliness and joyousness. May Queen Newton OCV never permit bitterness into her heart and soul. Whenever she is tempted to become bitter, please be there to lead her to repentance, Lord, so that the thoughts of her heart may be forgiven, and she will avoid the gall of bitterness and the bounds of iniquity. And she choose to live And if she choose to live in bitterness, have mouth full of cursing and feet that are swift to shed blood, they have not known the way. She has not known the way of peace, and she have no fear of God. Uproot any bitterness seed that the devil desires to cultivate in her life. Father, guard her against any forces of bitterness around her with the sweetnesses of your Holy Spirit, Lord. Bitterness grieves the Holy Spirit, by whom I have been sealed unto the day of redemption. Therefore, Father, I commit to praying for Queen Newton OVC, that her life would be put away from all bitterness and wrath and anger, malice and calamity, and all evil speaking, Father. Father, I pray that she choose to work towards kindness, being tenderhearted and forgiving, even as you have forgiven her, for Christ's sake. Father, I thank you, Father God. And if she is in the chat in the bushes right now, Father, I pray that you change her heart towards Robert Miss Sylvester Kelly, that she will put away all bitterness against us, and for her to not speak negativity any longer, Father. It is in the name of Jesus we pray. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you. So, guys, anytime anybody come after me, I am going to pray for them. I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to pray for them. So they want my attention and they want prayer, I'll definitely give that to them, because I am not going to play around with them any longer. There's power in the word of prayer. And watch God changes her heart. Amen. Amen. So, guys, I'm going to close. I just pray God continue to bless you guys. And until we speak again, you guys have a wonderful weekend, wonderful day, and enjoy your evening. And make it a great one, okay? All right. Love you with the love of Christ. I'll see you guys later. And I'm going to play that song, Robert's song, Take This Burden Off for Me, because that's going to be our theme song until my person gets me a new intro, because I'm changing my channel. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold on now. Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute. I think it goes something like this. Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Cause every time I turn around, there's something trying to keep me down. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Whoa, can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. When I look up, don't you know, burdens knocking at my door. So won't you come and take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Oh, come and take these burdens off of me. Off of me. Somebody come and take these burdens off of me. Off of me. Soon as I get up off the ground, my burdens knock me right back down. Can somebody take these burdens off of me? Off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Somebody take these burdens off of me, off of me. Well, off of me, off of me. Oh, off of me, off of me. Well, off of me, off of me. Get them off of me, off of me. Come and break the chain. Come and break the chain. Off of me. Get it off of me. Off of me. Get it off of me. Off of me. I need somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody. I need somebody to get this burden. Off of me. To get this burden. Off of me. Can somebody take these burdens off of me?